What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys some Atlanta Falcons news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today in Atlanta Falcons news, the Atlanta Falcons are holding a private workout in Seattle, Washington, with quarterback Michael Penix Jr. For the Washington Huskies. They stated that a sizable amount of the coaching staff, including Raheem Morris, GM Terry Fontenot, they were all traveling to this private workout session with Michael Penix Jr. And as you guys know, the Atlanta Falcons do hold the number 8 pick in this first round. So could the Atlanta Falcons possibly target Michael Penix Jr. In this upcoming draft? I definitely think that that's a possibility. I definitely think that the Falcons are doing their due diligence. As I mentioned in previous videos, I do believe the Falcons seriously think that Michael Penix Jr. would fit in this new Atlanta Falcons passing scheme. As far as Zach Robinson, Michael Penix is one of those guys that's a fast processor. He is a guy that can make every throw. And I really feel like Michael Penix Jr. could be a player that the Falcons are really legitimately thinking about drafting. Whether they stay there at 8 or whether they decide to trade back. I do believe it's going to come down to edge rusher, and it's going to come down to Michael Penix Jr. If they decide not to go with the edge rusher, I definitely think that there's a serious chance that Michael Penix could be picked by the Atlanta Falcons. And I definitely think that it would be a smart move for the Atlanta Falcons if they decide not to go with an edge rusher, which personally I would pick an edge rusher if Dallas Turner or Latu is there or Jared Verse. I definitely think that those guys are worthy of that 8th pick. But if the Falcons, want to develop someone behind Kirk Cousins for the long term, I definitely think that Michael Penix Jr. would be a good pick for the Atlanta Falcons because he fits in this scheme, because he's a guy who's been in a pass-heavy type offense, and he proved last season with leading the Washington Huskies to the championship game in college that he is one of those guys that can make every throw. He had a really good pro day, ran a 4.46 40. So he proved that he does have the athleticism. The only thing that scares me about Michael Penix Jr. or gives me a cause for pause is the injuries that he's had previously in college. But outside of the injuries that he's had, I definitely think he could be a guy, as I mentioned in previous videos, that could be an insurance policy because we know that Kirk Cousins is coming back from that Achilles injury. And God forbid if Kirk Cousins were to go down and we put all of our eggs in that basket and for some reason he ends up getting injured again, we don't want to have to turn back to Taylor Heineke as the starting quarterback for our team. So I really think that the Falcons want to win now. And I really feel like Michael Penix could be that guy that could be not only an insurance policy if, God forbid, Kirk Cousins somehow gets injured again, but he also could be that guy of the future that could sit behind a Kirk Cousins that could develop. And I really feel like the Falcons haven't done a good job in the last regime when we had, guys like Matt Ryan as our starting quarterback. We never had that quarterback that was waiting in the wings developing, similar to what the Green Bay Packers always do. They always usually have, that quarterback that's waiting in the wings, like the Jordan Love situation with Aaron Rodgers. And then like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, it's always good to have that backup plan just in case things doesn't go as planned. And I definitely think that Michael Penix Jr. could be a guy that the Falcons decide to draft, sit him for a couple seasons because really this Kirk Cousins signing is mainly a 2-year deal. If you look at the deal, mainly it's 2 years, $100 million. And then the third and fourth year are years where the Falcons could possibly move on from Kirk Cousins. So I definitely think that it's not a bad idea to think about bringing in a Michael Penix Jr., possibly drafting him. Like I mentioned before, he wouldn't be my first pick. I think the Falcons need to go edge rusher because we really desperately need more pass rush. But if they decide that they're not unsure about Kirk Cousins and if he could possibly get injured, or if they're unsure, if they want to develop someone behind Kirk Cousins over the next 2 years where Michael Penix could learn the system and things of that nature and then kind of hit the ground running. I definitely think that the Falcons could consider, bringing in Michael Penix, allowing him to learn behind Kirk Cousins, and then he'll be the quarterback of the future. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Michael Penix Jr. possibly being drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. I definitely think that this is a very interesting and intriguing situation, but I don't believe that the Falcons have made a decision on who they're going to draft at 8 just yet. I really feel like they're trying to keep all options open because we don't know what can happen on draft night. We know that teams could easily trade up in front of the Atlanta Falcons and draft a quarterback or draft the top edge rusher that the Atlanta Falcons may be targeting. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. So as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.